Hello, this is Allie with the Perception Trainers, author of The Perception Diet, and today I want to talk to you about why you absolutely have to love your body first before you will ever get it to change into what you want it to look like, or before you will be able to easily maintain the body that you want to have, okay? So if you are someone who is sitting there saying, I can't love my body where it is, I don't feel comfortable in my skin, and I don't love my body, and I won't be able to love it until it's different. If you are someone who thinks that, your body is this representation of your alignment with your truth, or your alignment with who you're supposed to be, and because it's not looking how you think it should look, that it's showing you that you're off course, or that you're somehow out of alignment with yourself, and that's why you can't love your body. If you feel like you do love your body, but you still want it to change, and you're still doing things to try and make it change, if you're thinking that if you love your body where it is right now, that's like giving up and surrendering, and say that you just accept this shitty body that you don't like, and that's like giving up, and so you don't want to do that, then this video is for you. Okay, so the first thing you need to understand about your body is that it is the result of how you feel about yourself. It is not the cause of how you feel about yourself. And so many of us truly believe that our bodies are the cause of what we feel about ourselves. And that's why we think that if we change how our body looks, that we'll be able to change how we feel about ourselves and about our bodies. And what you need to understand is that that is the opposite of how it works, and that's why so many of us struggle so much. Your body is the result of how you feel about yourself. And this is not just a woo-woo thing that like law of attraction, This is actually proved in science, okay? So the first thing, like this, even just like on a super logical level, if you don't love your body, it's going to be very difficult to eat healthy foods. It's going to be very difficult to sleep when you need to sleep. It's going to be very difficult to work out in a way that's healthy for you and move your body. Essentially what I'm saying is that it's going to be difficult to have healthy habits and to maintain them when you don't love your body, because it's difficult to take care of something that you don't love. And that's just how it works. And so if you're struggling right now to, stick to a healthy eating regime, or if you're struggling with your workouts, or if you're struggling with living healthy and you continually sabotage yourself, it's probably because you don't love your body. And it's not the other way around, right? It's not that when your body is finally perfect and you're able to eat healthy or whatever, then you should love yourself. It's that you're going to have to love yourself first, okay? And and I also want to give it to you like this. There was a man who did an experiment where he wanted to see how his white blood cells would react outside of his body when he cut himself. So when he physically inflicted a wound on his body, he wanted to see the activity that would take place in his white blood cells in a petri dish outside of his body. So what he did is he harvested his white blood cells from his saliva, isolated them in a petri dish, and hooked them up to electrodes so that he could measure their activity, okay? And so then he was like, okay, I now need a knife, or a little, like, something to cut my finger, so I will go find that. And he went away to find the knife, and came back and with the intention of cutting his finger, and he looked at the he looked at the electrical activity of his white blood cells, and he realized that they had already responded to him going to look for the knife, as though he had already cut himself. So his white blood cells outside of his body, hooked up to electrodes, could sense that he was thinking about cutting himself, and they reacted. Okay? So your body is listening to you, and your body is listening to your thoughts, and your body is reacting and responding to you. Right? It's not the other way around. And a lot of the times we think it's the other way around. We think that because our body is something that we don't like, that it causes us to have these thoughts and these feelings about our bodies, that, that it's the body's thing that caused us to feel the way that we feel about our bodies. And really what that is that's a cycle and a loop that we get into. We keep seeing what we don't want to see, then we keep thinking thoughts like, I don't like my body, I don't want my body to be this way, I wish it was this. I wish it was that, or whatever, and our body responds to those thoughts by continually manifesting the same body, right? So we're continually creating this cycle where we think negative things, which causes our bodies to respond negatively. And so you need to understand that if your body is always listening to you, right, your body is always responding to what you're saying. And so I want to give it to you like this in a metaphor. So pretend you're in a marriage with someone that you can't get a divorce from, okay? So you're in this partnership with this person, you have to be with them, and there's no way of getting a divorce. And this person says to you, okay, I'm going to love you when you're perfect. And until that happens, I'm going to point out all of your flaws to you. I'm going to be very vocal about what I don't love about you. And I'm going to have this set of expectations that I need you to meet. And every single day that you don't meet them, I'm going to remind you of that. And I'm going to point it out to you. And I'm going to point out your flaws day in and day out, over and over and over again. How stressful would that be? Right? How stressful would that be for you? How much would that encourage you to want to get better? How much would that encourage you to want to be better and do better and live up to their expectations? Probably not very much. Probably you'd end up resenting them, and probably you'd end up feeling very unsafe and very unseen and just beat down over and over and over again, and you'd feel very stressed. And this is exactly how your body feels as you sit there and think that, you're not in alignment with my truth, you're not in alignment with who I am, you're not good enough, and it's not okay for you to be how you are. That is stressful for your body, okay? And just biologically speaking, stress is one of the hardest things on our physical health. Stress has the most effect on how our bodies look and how our bodies manifest, because stress affects our immune system, stress affects our metabolism, stress affects our, literally everything in your body gets affected when you're under stress. And you thinking, I need to find this workout, maybe I should try this workout, maybe I should try this diet, maybe I'll do this fast, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that, maybe I should do this, I hate this about myself, I hate this about, that is stress, over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And you just continually are berating your body and bombarding your body with these stress hormones. You're continually communicating to your body that it's not good enough and that you don't like it, and that continues to manifest the same reality over and over and over again. So this is why you have to love your body first. And I even say, if you really want to do this whole hog, you have to stop trying to change your body. You have to stop trying to diet, you have to stop trying to work out, you have to stop trying to figure out what it is that you have to do to make it so that your body will look how you want it to look, and you need to start acting like you love your body now. And that is the only way to do it. And maybe it's not the only way, but it's definitely the most effective way that I've seen. And so I want to tell you a personal story. So when I recovered from anorexia, I gained weight, and I was essentially in my healthy weight range after the first 6 months of starting my recovery, okay? And for the next 3 or 4 years, I was so, just so miserable in my body. Just absolutely hated it. And I was constantly trying a different workout or trying a different diet or changing my diet or just working myself to the bone, just constantly had this mental dialogue of just not being okay with myself and not being okay with my body and trying to figure out how to make it different and how to make it thinner and how to make it better and what I needed to do in order to get my body to be at a place where I loved it. And I truly believed, like most people do, that if I loved my body where it was, that was giving up, and that I would never get the body that I wanted if I did that, and I just had to keep fighting, and I just had to keep searching, and I just had to keep trying, and I just had to keep trying to change my body, okay? And after a few years of this, I literally just stopped and looked in the mirror, and I was like, you know what? This isn't working. It's not, I'm no closer to where I want to be, and in fact, I might even be farther than where I want to be through all of this trying to change my body and trying to make it something that I want it to be. And so in that moment, I literally was like, you know what, this is sucking all my joy. This is taking up so much of my time. This is taking up so much of my mental energy. What if I just accepted my body the way that it was? What if I just learned to accept my body right here, right now, even though it's not the weight that I want it to be, even though it's not the size that I want it to be? What if I just learned to love it as though it was? right? So what I did was I started to act as though my body was already the way that I wanted it to be. And I would ask myself, what am I going to eat today if I'm not trying to change my body? What am I going to do today for exercise if I'm not trying to change my body? How much am I going to sleep today if I'm not trying to change my body? If I just have what I want, and I'm just imagining that I already have what I want, how am I going to dress today? How am I going to carry myself? How am I going to speak about myself? And I just started practicing that over and over and over again. I started to live as though I already had the body that I wanted. And for an entire year, my body didn't really change. It stayed pretty much the same. And by the end of that year, I looked at my body and I felt about my body as though I already had the body that I wanted. I wasn't pretending anymore. After a while of practicing this, I actually got to a place where I did genuinely love and accept my body where it was. And that was huge freedom for me. Just like, even in that moment, my body didn't even have to change. And I could love it, and I could be okay with where it was. And then it started changing. Okay? That's when it started to shift, and I got muscle tone, and my hair started to get thicker, and my skin was even better, and like all of these things started to improve. But by that point, like I said, I already had been feeling like I had my ideal body for several months. I had already been living and acting as though I had it. And that is what created the change that made my body change into the body that I have now. And this is my ideal body, and I'm fully and completely happy with it. But the thing is, it didn't happen until I already lived as though I had it. I already accepted my body where it was. And the thing is that, as you live as though your body is already how you want it to be, you will naturally fall into the right diet for you. You will naturally fall into the right exercise regimen for you. You will naturally fall into how much sleep and how much rest you need. You will naturally fall into all of these things because you're acting as though it already happened, right? And so when you're not working from this place of I don't have what I want, you're working from this place of I already do have what I want, all of a sudden the inspiration comes for what you actually need to do to create that reality. Does that make sense? Like, I hope that you can hear that. So it's that if you're continually working from the reality that I don't have what I want, all of your actions and everything that you do and everything that you think and everything that all of your ideas are going to be in alignment with you not having what you want. Does that make sense? You'll never be able to get to the body that you really want, that you can maintain easily and not stress about, if you're thinking from that place of I don't have it. Because as long as you think from this place of I don't have it, all of your actions are going to align with I don't have it. When you think from the place of I have it, all of your actions are going to align with you having it. So I hope that that made sense, and I hope that you can hear that. And so that's what I want to say, is that you have to love your body now. You have to accept your body now. And the last thing that I want to say is that for me, the greatest blessing that I've ever had in my life was my body and the universe not allowing me to have the body that I wanted until I learned to love it. Because now, if my body shifts and changes as it's going to in life, right, I'm not going to be able to maintain this exact look forever. Because that's not how time works. That's not how the body looks. And, weight fluctuates and things change. And, maybe I'll get pregnant. Maybe I'll travel and things will change. And, things are going to happen. My body is not stagnant, and my body is not this stone temple that I've now got to where I want it to be, and it's just going to be there forever. And I'm okay with that. I don't need it to be this super specific way in order for me to be happy with it. And that is freedom, right? When you can be okay with yourself, and you can feel how you want to feel, about yourself. You can feel like you're valuable. You can feel like you're worthy. You can feel like you're special. You can feel like you're beautiful. Whatever your body looks like, that is when you're free, okay? And that is so much more important than actually physically manifesting the body that you want, because you really only want the body that you want because of the stories you've told yourself about what having that body means, right? And you only don't like the body that you have because of the stories you've told yourself about the body that you have, which are not true. And those are the things that you need to work through for sure as you go on this journey. But this is what I wanted to say, is that you need to start to act as though you have what you want, and you need to start acting like you love your body now before you're ever going to manifest it, because it works the other way, okay? When you act from a place as though you have it, things are going to align for you to be in that place. When you act as though you don't have it, you're constantly going to manifest and do actions and things that line up with you not having it, okay? So you need to love your body first. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. Like, subscribe, share. Find me on Facebook, we're the Perception Trainers. I'm on Instagram, Urban Fruit Bat, and I will see you in the next video.